Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome back again to the live stream. Now, today's agenda for live streaming is how, as a project manager, will be performing capacity planning of a team in a scrum. To elaborate the topic furthermore, as we all know, in Agile, we will be planning a sprint. Popularly, we'll have a sprint planning of 15 days. So, as per the backlog items suggested for that particular sprint, every backlog item have a user story and the story points mentioned. Now, these all the story points actually depends on the complexities of the task. But for simplicity, let us understand one story point equals to 8 hours. So, for each backlog item, which may be related to the UI designing, front end development, API development, testing, or whatever. Every story, user story, have a description, acceptance criteria, and the story point is mentioned over there. In this manner, the number of backlog items for that particular sprint are decided, and from there we'll get the cumulative story points we are planning to take for the development during this sprint. Now the question arises whether our team, means like project manager or tech lead, have to decide as per the sprint planning, whatever the story cumulative story points are there, whether my team have a capacity to perform it or not. In this situation, project managers use techniques, tools, analysis for evaluating capacity planning of a team, and that is the main topic, and that is the main analysis we are going to discuss today. With Team Axiom, we will be discussing how capacity planning can be done, what are the advantages of capacity planning, utility of it in a scrum. So the feasibility of that sprint planning, and if there is any difference between the capacity and the story points, cumulative story points of the sprint, then this particular analysis will help us out to plan the things properly, how much capacity team is having to deliver, how much story points in that sprint. So let's welcome Team Axiom to for the presentations over the topic that is capacity planning in Scrum. Over to Team Axiom.
Thank you, sir. I'm Nutan Sunmane from Team Axiom. Good morning, all. Our topic is related to capacity planning in Scrum. So it's a Scrum role. There are three main roles within a Scrum team. product owner, scrum master, and development team. The product owner puts in the work upfront. They help prioritizing the product backlog items and decide which should move to the sprint backlog. These important decisions guide the goals of the sprint and determine the tasks the team will tackle over the next sprint. The Scrum Master acts as a guide here. He plays a main role. They lead meetings that help ensures that the Scrum framework is followed throughout the sprint to keep the team on track. The Scrum Master helps the team get the most out of the entire Scrum process and each individual Scrum ceremony. The development team is made up of the various people who will complete the work agreed upon during sprint planning here. If we see or if we go through the story points, it's regarding and related to sprint here. Story point metrics provide guidance on how to score each product backlog item by accounting for efforts, complexity, experiences, and uncertainties here. See, story point requires efforts, amount of time, and task complexity here. According to that, the story point decides. If we see here in the table, the one story point for the minimum efforts, a few minutes of work, and little complexity gives here. This shows the graph of the risk or uncertainty here. If we took story point two, gives a minimum efforts, a few hour work, and little complexity with respect to graph. If we took story point three, it gives a mild efforts a day to complete that work and low complexity work. If we give a 5 as a story point, it takes a moderate efforts, a few days, and minimum medium complexity over here. If we took 8 as a story point, severe efforts, we put a week to complete the particular task or a module, and medium complexity here. According to the uncertainty graph, is also showing the risk factor there. And if we took a 13 as a story point, maximum effort it requires, a month it requires to complete a product or a module task, and high complexity work it is as we consider here. See, a capacity planning in agile, if we see with respect to this story point, involves working out of the capacity of the Scrum team for a particular sprint, and then determine how much of the product backlog you can expect to complete with respect to the sprint and story points also. It is sometimes known as capacity based sprint planning or commitment based sprint planning because it shows our, we can say, task commitment or completion commitment here also. The outcome of agile capacity planning isn't a simple to know how much capacity we have here. It's about knowing how much we can or you can really commit to deliver within the time frame or timeline. If we go through the strategic between the agile and the capacity planning here, see it helps to gain momentum towards a business work or towards a product work to complete to achieve goal or by to improve productivity, accelerating the software development life cycle, and increasing the customer satisfaction here. Various challenges in front of the capacity planning if we work on the as a agile team, like overtiming sprint capacity, low quality work, poor project outcomes, low staff morale, and high churn, burnout, unproductive team members, customer dissatisfaction, uh, and many more. But if we plan accordingly according to our capacity, or we can say a planning is with respect to the strategy, then we fulfill our specific goal. So if we go through the steps, capacity in agile team, calculate the sprint duration first, then calculate the collective numbers of hours per day, then consider other factors that impact availability of the uh, employees. And the last phase, determine a realistic utilization of the rate here. Some benefits regarding agile capacity planning: it improved forecasting and predictability, psychological safety, it has staff morale and retention also here. It improved availability to push back and prioritize. Run software is perfect for agile resource planning at an individual team level and at scale across your entire organization. See, lets you calculate team capacity easily so you can commit with confidence. Schedule resources to get the right people in the right place here with respect to the planning. Manage team utilization to keep people productive and happy, and run software to identify schedule variance and overutilization also. If we go through capacity based sprint planning here, we have two ways of sprint planning: velocity based sprint planning and capacity based sprint planning. Velocity based planning of the sprint determines how much work the team can accomplish in this particular sprint. In any sprint, the velocity is calculated as the number of story points completed per sprint. We can say it as a we can say total hours in particular sprint here. This is a basic we can say introduction regarding the velocity based sprint planning. So commit, it also called as commitment based sprint planning. Why? Capacity based sprint planning, also called commitment based sprint planning, is based on the team's availability or available capacity in hours for the sprint and tries to fill that capacity effectively without overburdening and undercommitting the team members. Capacity based planning is considered the best way of sprint planning due to the following three reasons we can say. The capacity of the team may vary from one sprint to another. It depends how many team members we have, how many hours we have. It depends on that. Depending on the holidays, leaves, and other commitment with respect to employees and our complete team, we can say. So every sprint is not an average sprint. The story points and the velocity are the two important measures here over multiple sprints for estimating the release dates of a product, we can say. But story points are found to be cost gain for planning the details of a 2 week sprint. If you consider the hours, they are fine gained enough and much useful for estimating concrete tasks here. See, last reason, in the sprint planning, the user stories allow the development team and the product owner to consider each story in detail to develop a shared understanding of the end product. That's why Scrum, we can say Scrum team, or we can say a product team complete. The product owner, the Scrum, and the development team member togetherly sitting for this particular planning so that everyone knows the every phase of the product building or product implementation. Who all participated in the capacity sprint planning here? A capacity or commitment driven sprint planning meeting involves the scrum master, product owner, and all the development team members. The product owner present the highest priority product backlog items in the particular meeting and introduces those top priority items to the team. How to do capacity based sprint planning now? Scrum team often face the challenges of sprint commitments during a sprint planning. Here the challenges include: how many user stories can the team commit in the sprint or a particular sprint? How to know the team's capacity here? The second challenge is a crucial one, because for committing to the sprint goal, you need to know the capacity of the current team, and the capacity can be calculated as per the team members. availability in the sprint. So let's we example this with respect to this particular and simple example. If we have 6 people working for 8 hours per day for 3 sprints, or we can say 15 days, so 3 weeks in a sprint, or we can say 15 days, then the total capacity of the team can be calculated. Like team's capacity equals to number of team member, which multiplies time in hours, multiplies with the days here. Like 6 member multiplies with the time in hour is 8, and then the 15 days we have. And the total calculation regarding this is 720 hours. But planning a total capacity in this pattern may burn out the team with lots of tasks here, make them rush to reach the end goal, hamper the quality of work, we can say, and lead to low team morale. Then how to decide if the particular employees work the whole 8 days, means whole day for a particular product, so it hampers quality, we can say. Then how to decide the capacity that the team can commit to, and how the team can make the sprint planning event more effective here. So it comes a focus factor here. See, focus factor, with respect to all the terminologies here, we can say it as it plays a main role how we can calculate the particular sprint and hours and the capacity with respect to our team members. So see, the focus factor ranges between 0 to 6 to 0 to 8, because the whole day and 8 hours working is difficult for any employees, and work completion for any project manager, as we can say it as. Because 0.6 to 6.5 is okay, 6 hours is okay for any particular, we can say, task to complete, and consideration is best, it is. So this lies, the particular focus factor lies between the 0.6 to 0.8 here. Using less focus factor, if the team members have ended up the current sprint with all the work items, we can say tasks, they can add more tasks in that sprint. Team can retrospect on this to check for rising the focus factor to reach a sustainable flow. And going above 0.8 can be the risky factor here, and it slow downs the team too. So focus factor usually remains on the extreme left, such as 0.6, and then we can work through this and represent the time slot accordingly. So here it recommended to use less focus factor with respect to capacity planning here. The team is new on a project, the team is implementing Scrum for the first time, and the team is new to technology domain also. That's why we need to go towards left, that is the 0.6, for to achieve our goal, to implement a particular product with respect to a particular zealous employee implementation, we can say. Now, if we see what is the output of capacity based sprint planning with respect to focus factor only, sprint backlog is the output of capacity based sprint planning here, meeting. A sprint backlog is nothing but a list of a product backlog item that the team commit to deliver, plus a list of tasks needed to deliver those product backlog item. Also, each task on the sprint backlog is usually estimated here, so we can achieve our goal accordingly, which we expected or which our scrum master expected through this capacity based sprint. Now I over to you, Sahil, for the example or implementation of this capacity based sprint planning through this simple and one of the example.
Thank you very much, Nathan ma'am. Thank you, Aditya also. Let me share screen. Okay. Hope, hope so. My screen is visible to all. Good afternoon, everyone. So you can see the example of capacity planning in Scrum, which is created in the Excel sheet. It's shown like this. As per this example, sprint duration, we have 3 weeks, like week 1, week 2, week 3 in the top row, and these are the working days which are we take the duration from Monday to Friday only, excluding Saturday, Sunday, and we have 3 week of a sprint for that, finding the capacity of sprint capacity of planning for that particular project. So that means we have working days are considered from Monday to Friday only, as per mentioning here, Monday to Friday for the week 1, week 2 for Monday to Friday, and week 3 is for Monday to Friday. And all the working hours is like 8 hours for uh, everyone. And in the left column, in the second column, we have the members of team like Aditya Pone, Aditya Savarkar, and many more. Like there is a 6 members in this team. There's a standard working duration is 8 hours a day, and this is shown in this third row. And we are allocating the story points as per their work and their availability, which is we'll go for the first day of week, which is shown in the fourth column, like here. And that first day of story points allocated for the team members as per 5 hours everyone, because these are the sprint meeting planning hours for them. So those hours we can consider as story points for the individual team members, which is calculate as capacity of their first day of working hours is equal to 30 hours. Means we can say that the first day of story points of that capacity is 30 for the first day. As per that, we can see the first week of Thursday there's a 00 hours we are allocated. So means this is the holidays for all the team members. And the we can see also red boxes in the chart. There's a total 5 red boxes of showing here. These are the vacation leaves which is taken by the members, and as per that consideration we are finding and planning the capacity of that team work as per their availability. So the hours and the story points can be vary as per their task. We already said that. So we have the 8 hours a day, but we are um, minusing the 2 hours per day for the meeting and discussion on that sprint planning or the project planning. And the productive hours for the working is 6 hours per day, which is seeing like this, all the six hours for the everyone. So let's consider here the first day of sprint in the first week. We have the 5 hours for the every member, and those story points calculated as capacity is 30. And in the second day also, they have worked six hours everyone, but the second member is on the vacation, on the leave. So the ratio and the capacity, it becomes same for the. So we can see that we can also say the capacity of working on a team, it remains their allocation, their story points, which hours how many hours they are taking for that particular project or particular task regarding this project. So this is the story point for the individual as per from first day of story point to the last sprint of day. Here's a total story points of a particular member is total equal to 83 here showing here. So this is the individual capacity of story points of a particular member regarding this project. And there's also we have the total sprint of capacity is 448 hours, which is calculated from this all the team members. And there's a we have the formula like the team members into 8 hours into day, Means we have the 15 days of sprint, which is 3 week of sprint, and individual day we have taken the 8 hours for the working. In that, actual working time or productive hours we calculate as 6 hours. So so we can see each team members, it can be vary also, and team will spend their hours, we can say their story points as per their task, which is shown in this table format. That there is a we have highlighted the some colors in for the vacations. The total vacation and leaves taken by the team members is 5 from all of the team member as per their availability. We consider as capacity of that project. And the holidays are in the shown in the Thursday of first week, and productive hours is 6 hours per day for them, and 2 hours for the meeting and discussion. There's a total number of members is 6. As per their members, we allocated story points to them. And total sprint of capacity means we have calculate there the individual story points of capacity for the individual member. Also we have calculate the individual day of sprint capacity here in the bottom of row and in the right side of column. So it totals of both the columns is 8 hours for the sprint capacity. It's, we can say that this is the sprint capacity for all the team members for a particular project for a one sprint. Hope this is the clear and useful for to you all, and this is a basic example for the sprint capacity planning using Scrum. That's all. Thank you, guys.
Hey, this is perfect. This is nice elaboration from Team Axiom, Nutun as well as Sahil. That's not where you had taken a lot of efforts to elaborate the uh, what exactly how we can do the capacity planning, and taken a live example as well, Sahil. It's very good. Now, to summarize the objectives of this live session, as in the grooming sessions with the project with the product owners, obviously product owner have to think about the various backlog items need to be considered in this sprint, and they'll uh, they have their own pressure from the stakeholders to deliver. So they, product owner, try to put as many backlog items as he can in that particular sprint. In the agile, everything right from the analysis to deployment, everything need to be done that particular sprint called like will be considered as a product, and it has to be delivered and tested on the live URL as well. So very cautiously, project manager have to estimate the capacity of his team, whether his team is capable enough to deliver the story points accumulated in that sprint. If we not evaluate the capacity, then so many problems maybe arises. You may not able to deliver that all the story points, so sprint cannot be completed. So the team will like project manager will be responsible for that, right? So to uh, if you can able to evaluate the capacity of a team, how much they can able to deliver as per their availability, as per their uh, uh, capacity of delivering it. So as a manager, as a team lead, will be in a better position by using these all the analysis to evaluate the capacity of a team and each and every individual as well. And if we can able to evaluate everything efficiently, we can able to deliver the estimated story points in the sprint on time, and sprint can be closed. Otherwise, if the estimation gone wrong, if we're not aware about the capacity of a team, how much they can deliver daily, weekly, and sprint wise, so there are great chances that we cannot able to deliver that all the objectives set for the sprint, and our entire team is in trouble. Hope this session will help you all to analyze the capacity planning of a team and how one can do that capacity planning. Thank you very much for giving us time and opportunity to give you the guidelines on this capacity planning. Yes, Nutan, you have any question?
Sir, if we want to consider focus factor 8, 8
Right.
hours a day,
Yeah.
then we need employee with retention and technologically strong.
Yeah.
Then only we fulfill this particular focus factor in module implementation.
You are
Uh,
absolutely right. Yeah, correct. Because like as a manager, as a tech lead, as I said, as a team lead, you know that capacity doesn't means only availability, right? We will know about his experience. We have a historical data of that particular individual. On that basis, you are pointing them or giving the points to them. So from that, we will obviously it has it again, it's a term of analysis, right? It's like 8 hours availability is okay, but during these 8 hours, how much he is capable of delivering, that is also matters, no? Right? So that question is not supposed to be used to the asked to the team. We should know that how much he is capable enough, and that to evaluate his capacity, right? We should have the various metrics available with us, right? And it's a continuous process. So as a manager, as a lead, I should know that if XYZ is a team member, how much he can able to deliver in the 8 hours, right? So availability is 8 hours is okay, but at the same time, hope you understand what I'm talking about, right?
yes,
So
sir,
you,
yes, sir,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah, you should know the capacity. Capacity doesn't mean only the availability; it's a productivity also included in that. So obviously, in that eight
Means,
hours,
sir,
yeah,
yes, sir. The Scrum Master plays a main role with respect to team leads
exactly.
for
They
any
have a
employee.
discussions with the project manager, scrum master, and
Yes,
team
sir.
lead, and like because basically, if I assign any task, so I should know that these tasks can be completed. If it is a 16-hour task, maybe having a 2 story points, right? So that need to be completed within that. So as a scrum master, maybe recommend this thing. Okay, this is a story point of 16, and then team lead need to answer whether that task assigned to xyz, and if he can able to deliver it in that, so he should know the capacity of it, right? And obviously, if we ask straight away questions to team, he will obviously they will say it will longer time required, right, for delivering it.
Yes, sir.
So we should know basically what is the capacity, and then it has to be delivered like this. So it's a
So
very
apart from time and hours and employee, we have different factors to measure for
yes,
capacity
yes.
planning.
Different
We can say that.
matrices are there to measure
Yes,
it, right? It's not only the availability, because people are available in the office. It means 8 hours they are available, but we need to evaluate, right, by using various metrics as well. That is not scope
yes,
up right now, but at the
yes,
same time, you have that matrices you have to use, right? So the velocity matrix and all we are talking about, and then a lot of other things are factors are there by which you'll come to know the nearby capacity, right? Okay, if I allocate the task of 8 hours, so if we can able to evaluate this efficiently, right? So so we can able to deliver, because objective is set. These are the story points. Now to deliver that story points, team need to be tuned enough, okay, properly, right? So otherwise, if any mismatch is there, if their capacity
yeah,
is not evaluated properly, so we
yes,
cannot
sir.
able to.
Understood. Yes, sir.
That is
Understood.
the columns over there.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank
guys, thank you very much. And then come up with these various topics. Get in touch with us. Give us some opportunity to elaborate much more topics to you, so that in this way, we together we can explore more and able to deliver the best to the industry. Thank you very much, guys. Have a great rest day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you,
you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.